Okay, what are we doing? Hi, everybody. It's Andrew Plank with the Victoria Greater Victoria Real Estate Show. And today we're talking about who's in your corner, the truth about real estate referrals. So,
Great
hello,
topic.
everyone.
Hi, I'm Jane Johnston. I'm with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Wisconsin.
I'm Jen Lowe, mortgage broker with Dominion Lending Center's Modern Mortgage Group. Good to see you.
Excellent. Good to see you guys. Nice to see you again. So again, today's agenda, we're going to talk about real estate referrals, and we're going to do a quick real estate update. We're going to keep this one fairly short, I think, but we wanted to dive into a little talk about some things that maybe we haven't talked about before. So before we get started, actually, the other part on our agenda here is to get an update from Jen.
Yeah. So what are we expecting this week? Well, we're watching one key number right now, which will be Canada's Q3 GDP number, which comes out on Friday. Just to break down what the GDP is, it's basically the scorecard for how much economic activity is happening in the country. And when the GDP is strong, the Bank of Canada will probably hold rates. Whereas if the GDP is weak, the odds of a rate cut for December 10th will go up. So we're waiting to see what's going to happen on Friday.
It's a funny thing that, you want to see rates go down, but you definitely don't want to wish harm on the country's GDP. I mean, we want to see a strong economy. So right. It's that balancing act.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
We're also watching what's happening in the US because their decision does always influence ours. Mm-hmm. So they're also potentially looking to cut their rates on the same day as us. So we'll see what happens there as well.
I know there's a lot of pressure from on high in the States to cut those rates. Mm-hmm. Are they also getting reports on GDP, or is we're not aligned in that? It just happens. No. Those to-date announcements are lined up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd also be curious to see what happens with Trump and his health, because I'm seeing reports that he's had potentially a stroke.
Oh, and, no. Really?
Yeah. And I'm just, anyway.
Fake news. I mean, I'd say let's watch and see what happens. I don't take any of that news any longer with anything but a big crystal of salt.
Right. Well, anyway, I just think there's going to be changes. I think there's more unrest in the U.S., so it'd be interesting to see what happens there in the future. Sorry for being political.
Yeah, you just dove right in, and it's too early in the morning for that. If the dumpster fire, if some sparks land here, we will also probably, as they say, U.S. sneezes and we catch a cold. So
that's true.
That we've always known, and so that's some stuff we really can't predict or anticipate too much, other than just be wary and aware and watch. So let's move on from there. We can have a topic about the U.S. maybe one day and get super political, show all our stripes.
Yeah.
So, I was thinking about this the other day because I'd referred. So our topic today is, we're going to talk about real estate referrals, and we can talk this in general. We all give referrals. Jen gives referrals of realtors, and I'm sure of other professionals. We give referrals of other realtors in other centers for our clients who say are moving out of Victoria. We give referrals of mortgage brokers, of
insurance,
accountants, of appraisers, of handy persons, lawyers. Mm-hmm. And recently I had a client who I had given a referral to, and that referral didn't work out so well. So, how do we manage that, and how do we keep ourselves updated and so on? So I just wanted to have a fulsome conversation about that today. So what do you guys think of referrals? How do you manage?
Well, first of all, I have an agreement with all my clients, all my referrals. I do not want any money from them. The expectation is that they provide top of the line service to my clients. Absolutely. Yeah. So if I hear a complaint, I will report back to the service provider and give them feedback on what's happening. But I had a builder who I referred a client to, and he said, okay, well, where do I send the check to? Check, but you can send me business, like
Yeah.
if you like what I do,
Right.
but I'm sending people to you because
Yeah.
I trust you.
As a mortgage broker, we have to disclose if there's any money exchanged for the referral. 100% we have to disclose that. And I feel the same as you, Jane. I'd far rather just ensure that the client's getting good service as opposed to exchange money.
Right. So we do get sometimes offers of kickbacks and so on and so forth, and that can make an uneven playing field when it comes to referrals, right? And obviously, if we do receive funds from someone we've referred, we are required also, as well as you, Jen, we as realtors are required to disclose. And so for that reason, it's number one, complicated. Number two, I just really don't like the optics of, hey, I've referred you this person and they're going to be paying me as well as you paying me. And all of these other people that I'm referring paying me, and I've got this really great secondary income stream. That's not what it's about.
No.
So if we can provide the best quality person or persons to you, our clients, then you have a better chance of being successful, and off we go.
That being said, I do have a dream team of people that I refer on a regular basis, and maybe they refer back to me only. I don't think so, but I have I have a schedule of referrals, and so I have my 3 lawyers, I have my 3 inspectors. So we are required to have 3, and I make sure that they meet certain criteria so that the clients are satisfied. I think, to me, it's like paying a client. You also have to, if somebody gives you money in real estate, you do have to send out a notice of referral fee agreement or form for them to sign. And it's the same thing when we refer realtors in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
So,
I think we should correct something we said earlier too, because we do get paid when we refer a realtor. That is an area where we do receive a monetary compensation for referring a realtor to help you. And that's the one area I'd say that's the exception of how we manage that.
Yeah. Do you ever refer to mortgage brokers across the country?
Yeah. In places that I'm not licensed, I would refer it to another mortgage broker. I can co-broker that, but really honestly, I would hand it over to them. I don't know that area.
Do they give you a referral fee?
Honestly, it does not happen because our office is licensed in Alberta, and I don't really, other areas. It's not an issue for me. I would reach out to through Dominion Lending and refer it to another broker. Or we do have we call it a deal desk that we do it through, which is licensed across Canada. So
I guess the difference. Situation. Okay, so it sounds like there's not a sort of an industry consensus that's how it operates for mortgage brokers. Whereas for real estate agents, it's not like we have, when we're referring an agent. And I actually want to focus this conversation more on, local referrals of service providers. But when we are referring a realtor across the country, we're going to call around. If we don't know a realtor in that area, we're going to do some research and try to vet that realtor and find something about their success ratio and how they are with clients, and try to find the right fit for the client. And then let our client know that, by referring this person, they will be providing us a percentage of the transaction.
I actually run a realtor referral group. We have almost 600 realtors across Canada. And I definitely, you vet the people who you see, who's referred, you see who's maybe suggesting somebody else in that area. And there can be smaller referral groups, so they do sometimes refer one another. So just understanding the little nuances there, and making sure that they're the person who you're referring a realtor to, and the client to the realtor, that they are a good fit in terms of their values. That's very important.
Yeah. So now in terms of, we've got a client, they're listing their home for sale, and they, you're looking at their front yard and knowing that they need some landscaping work done, the lawn needs a mowing, that needs some cleaning up, maybe some mulch, this and that. And then you go inside and you see that there's some areas that need repair and maybe some rooms that need painting. And as you go on, you realize there's a number of different providers that these people could benefit from. Jane's already alluded to this. We try to give 3 recommendations, and this just means that it puts more of the responsibility and onus back on our clients to say, do your due diligence, choose one of these 3 or someone else. But we're not just giving you one for that person. If that person does not provide the service you're looking for, doesn't meet your standards, it's not placing all the responsibility on us, I guess. So we try to choose the best fit we can for our clients and vet really great providers, but we can't always control how relationships go or if something goes sideways.
Yeah, and I have had situations where I referred a handy person to a seller, and the seller decided not to pay said handy person. So, that creates a bit of a conflict of interest, also with the cleaner. And so that's exactly why I give them the 3 names, because then the contract is between the homeowner and the service provider. It's not a 3-way contract, and there's no blurry lines there. It's very important that the client's happy with whomever they choose.
Exactly. Yeah.
I find the biggest problem, is cleaners. Cleaners, nobody is happy with cleaning.
It's really hard. I think the buyers are never happy with the amount of clean that happened. The sellers are not always happy with the amount of clean that happens, because I think also they may not be aware of just how dirty some of their houses are, and just how long it takes to actually do the cleaning. I had a cleaning person who, she actually had a little steamer, and she would steam the walls and the windows, and it would help get a lot of the dirt out. And that was kind of her process. It took a long time to do that. You'd end up with a very clean home. And now there's different layers, I guess, to cleaning. There's just removing the dirt, and then there's sanitizing. So, you can go down the road there. But yeah, it's hard to find cleaners, and they do come and go in the business. And they can be very busy. Depends if they're a single team or a single person or a team. Do you have, I have a network of people, and I have a list of people, and I actually have a directory on my website where if someone's looking for any particular kind of provider, they can go to the website and find these vetted providers. And it's been built over the years. It's also been collected by talking to colleagues. And of course, if there's a negative review, you might say, from a client, then there is that conversation or that consideration for moving them from the list. But it's a constantly changing one.
Yeah, so. I find. Well, Jen, did you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah, it's a bit of a different angle, but what I have to say is when we have clients, like when I'm working with both of you guys, and we're working with a lawyer that you work with regularly, I just find that the transaction goes smoother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it does. Everyone communicates. Everybody knows what everybody's needs, and to make everything go smoothly. The lawyer, for example, if it's a lawyer that I work with regularly, if there is any issues, he will text me. He will call me on the weekend, and that's great. Whereas if it's someone that I don't work with regularly, I don't know the conveyancer isn't telling me they haven't received the mortgage instructions, or things can go sideways.
Right.
I also find it goes smoother because you know the type of communication, you know how they provide the information to you, whether or not they're responsive. So if they don't respond, you know, maybe perhaps why, but also when they are responding to you, it lessens everybody's stress. Good information really lowers everybody's stress. So having a service provider that is consistently providing you information is totally key to making the sale go properly.
I mean, that's true of our own approaches too, I'm sure. And, you know, one of the things I've always learned, I learned early in this business, and I try to keep on top of this, is, you know, silence creates stress, right? And it's that ambiguity and it's that unknown. So even if it's bad news, or it's no news, you know, hey, like just last night, we put an offer in on a property. It's open till tomorrow morning, but maybe they'll deal with it tonight, kind of thing. Send a message to them at 8 o'clock, my clients, to say, look, haven't heard anything yet. We'll probably hear in the morning, instead of just them waiting, you know,
Right.
spinning their wheels, not knowing what's going on. Because some agents might just assume, well, they know it's open till tomorrow. They can expect probably an offer or response tomorrow. I'll get back to them when I have a response.
The other thing is when people are working with a mortgage broker and they're moving across the country, I do recommend that they transfer to a local mortgage broker. And the reason for that is twofold. One is the mortgage broker knows the nuances of the area and knows what's going on, like where maybe there are buried oil tanks in Oak Bay or Fairfield, but also they are on the same time zone. And so they're able to know we're able to get the answers to questions in a timely manner. But also I find that because I set up a text chain with my clients as well. So we are always continually communicating. And then sometimes I just loop someone like Jen in right away. And that way that we have that open line of communication. And then with building inspectors, I find also some of them will provide more information. So knowing the building inspector will provide more information, I can allay their concerns by asking I can allay my client's concern by asking the building inspector, oh my God.
Building inspector.
I can allay my client's concerns.
I think we know what you're trying to say. Please move on.
By asking the inspector the questions before they actually get to the inspection, so that when we get there, the questions are answered.
Yeah. So being a team player in this whole scenario of buying a home, selling a home is so important. And there are some really skilled players out there who are very good at their jobs, but are not team players. And it can create a uncomfortableness in the transaction. So there's a fine line with this. We want to provide and recommend the best we can. And sometimes, of course, when I'm making recommendations, I will say, you know, here are 3 building inspectors. This one tends to be the cheapest, but you may not get the best communication. This one is the most expensive, but you're going to get a really detailed report. That kind of additional backgrounder will help with the choices. When you don't have, and I know the answer to this myself, but when you don't have someone to recommend and your client says to you, hey, look, I need a XYZ expert, and you being my person, because realtors are expected to know everything, please tell me who you recommend. And what do you do in that situation, Jane?
What I do is I go to the realtors in my company and I ask them who they recommend. I also go to our board realtor chat group and ask them. And then I do say that they were referred by other realtors. Often people are looking. So I find it with painters, with roofers, cleaners. There's certain, I guess, sort of transitory workers in these different industries. And so we're always looking for people like that. And then I tell them, and I provide, again, I try to provide them with 3, but it is hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jen, do you have the same situation or?
Yeah, I mean, most of the mortgages I'm doing are in, Vancouver Island. However, I am licensed across BC. So in a situation that I'm looking for an appraiser or a lawyer I'm doing a purchase right now in Terrace. I'm reaching out to other mortgage brokers within Dominion Lending to get some names of
Appraisers.
or an appraiser.
So,
but don't you tell them to talk to the agent about getting a lawyer there? Because wouldn't the agent sort of be dealing more with people, or is it because they're doing a renewal, or what's the story?
It depends. Yeah, it depends on the situation. Yeah. In this case, the lawyer actually, or not the lawyer, the realtor was in Mexico on vacation when my clients were making an offer. So they were reaching out to me for this information, and I said I could see what I could find out.
So that actually begs another question is, so what do you do when a realtor goes away or when your mortgage broker goes away? So for us right now, because we're a team and we have 2 of us, we don't generally have holidays at the same time so that somebody's always there.
Yeah.
But some realtors tell their clients they're going away on holiday, call me in a week. and then I get a call that somebody wants to see a property because there are realtors away. Yeah. So we really should have somebody on standby. Do you have somebody on standby?
I do.
Me? Yes. And for me, if I am not available 100%, it would be another broker in my office that I would refer them to. But usually for me, I'm able to, people don't know that I'm away.
Right. That's the other side to the referral network is we make connections with our colleagues here locally and we make, trusted relationships, professional trusted relationships. So if one of us, it does have to be away. And if for some reason, Jane and I forget your teammate's name, Sean Provencher. Just murdered that. Murdered it. You and Sean are both unavailable for whatever reason. You still would have people within your office that you could call and say, hey, look, I've got a client and they need your help. And can you take care of that? And so we do have ways of doing that. I just want to go back to when you don't know who to refer, we do some vetting of that. And I also go to these various real estate, I'll go to the Facebook groups for the realtors and not only ask, who do you use, but also you can search history and see, because this question gets asked fairly frequently, who's your go-to painter, who's your go-to cleaner. And so again, collecting names from that and knowing that, this is always I don't have currently a good handy person to recommend for general handy work. And it's kind of like a secret. Everybody keeps those people close to their chest because once you have a really good handy person, you don't want to let other people know because they will get super busy, not be available to you anymore and double their rates.
Just want to say I have an excellent quick fix appliance person.
Okay. All right.
Which is always handy, especially on a weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And appliance providers and those various things. Cause when the closing is happening and then the clients have moved in and they say, the washing machine doesn't work or the dishwasher's broken. You need to be, making some calls and making some connections pretty quick to get them up and running.
So some criteria that I look for when I'm vetting somebody is do they answer the phone? Do they attend to the person immediately or quickly if they can? And are they reasonably priced and are they well qualified to do the job? Because, any one of those criteria, if they don't have one, like if they're really expensive, they might not be worth the money. If they don't work quickly, they're going to be expensive anyway, even if they're cheap. And then, are they trustworthy and willing to do the work quickly? And if they are,
Yeah.
then for sure they're on the list.
And sometimes you just need anybody who is very qualified to go and do the work because the faucet has broken and you need a plumber immediately, and you're just going with whoever answers the phone at that point. And your client is calling around, you're calling around, you're doing your best to just everybody's working to solve a problem in real time. And you don't always have time to the people that are on your vetted list may not be able to get to it right away.
Speaking of which, we should get to the stats.
Oh, there's a segue. Okay. Sounds good. Let's get to the stats, folks.
Okay. Here we go.
Here we go. All right. So, new listings, 205 in the last week versus 229 the week before. So we're slightly down on new listings as we get into late November. 113 properties went pending versus 124 the week before. Again, slightly less. Not surprising. I expect to see these numbers continue to go down as we get into the depths of winter. 92 price decreases versus 130 the week before. That's interesting to see a little less. And 45 properties expired compared to 68 the week before.
Just want to say, though, these stats are from Monday to Monday, and previous week they were from Thursday to Thursday. So we may be overlapping a bit in some of the information.
Okay.
So list to sale ratio this week was 55%, and that's just up over last week of 54%. And then net unconditional sales, we're at 344 so far. This is as of November 24th. And that's compared to 551 for November last year. We're at 655 new listings. That's lower, I think, per day compared to 802 for November last year. And we're total at 3201, which is really heartening, actually, because you have a higher chance of selling, and that's compared to 2836 for November 2024. Sorry.
Okay.
So, there we go.
Excellent. Okay, folks. Well, we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. We love you. And we really would appreciate your feedback. So please, if you get a chance, like the show. If you like the show, like the show. Subscribe to the show, comment, share, all of the things, okay? And we would love to hear from you if you have questions. And if you do have questions, you can reach out to any of us. If you want to reach out to myself, I'm Andrew Plank, and my number is 250-360-6106. And you can reach me at info@andrewplank.com as well. And check out the website, andrewplank.com, where you will find links to the business directory that we've been discussing today.
Jen?
Yeah, I am at 250-217-4925. Email is jen@jenlowe.ca, and my website is jenlowe.ca.
And she's with the Modern Mortgage Group, Dominion Lending.
Yes, thank you.
And I'm Jane Johnston. I'm with the Briar Hill Group at RE/MAX Comosa. And you can reach me at 250-744-0775. My email is jane@briarhillgroup.com. Or you can look at our listings at briarhillgroup.com. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at realtyteacher_RE/MAX_Victoria. All right. We'll see you on Thursdays at 9:30. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.